the Havoc Fighting Championship Featherweight Division, and is brought to you by Goliath Snubbing and Mass Pro Oilfield Supply. And now first, introducing in the blue corner, fighting out of Edmonton, Alberta, representing UFC Gym Sherwood Park. He stands 5'10". He weighed in at 144 pounds, has an unblemished professional record of 2 wins, no losses. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Clay Dixon. And his opponent in the red corner, fighting out of Red Deer, Alberta, and representing Kensai Martial Arts and Fitness. He stands 5'9". He weighed in at 146 pounds, has a professional record of 3 wins, 1 loss. Ladies and gentlemen, Brent Harvie. The man in charge of the action when it starts inside the cage is Mr. Andy Social.
All right, gentlemen, we got over the rules. Fight hard, fight fair. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times.
Veteran referee Andy Social going over the particulars here at the co-main event of Havoc Fighting Championships 10. Clay Dixon, Brent Harvie, 145 pounds. All the questions will be answered. Both fighters touch glove. Clay Dixon gets on the inside early with an overhand right, straight into a takedown, which he finishes. Was kind of using Harvie's right ankle there to keep his hips from finding any kind of balance on the mat. But Brent Harvie was able to get back to his feet. There's a nice baseball back grip here on the forearm of Clay Dixon. Clay Dixon enjoying center middle control now within the clinch against Brent Harvie. Brent Harvie lands a nice knee, but again is taken down. Brent Harvie able to utilize his hips before making another attempt at getting back to his feet. Clay Dixon working on controlling Brent Harvie from the rear here, potentially digging in for a choke attempt early on. Might even be working on a bit of a crank here. Now he gives it up. He's trying to elevate the arms and stretch Brent Harvie out. Might be a little high over the hips for that. Again, working on a crank of the mandible and mouth of Brent Harvie. Definitely not a fun position for Brent Harvie in, but an easy one for him to weather. Brent Harvie doing a good job keeping his chin tucked, but needs to work on the arms. And Clay Dixon, he seems to be doing a little bit of hand fighting here. He's looking for a grip on the wrist. But again, Clay Dixon goes back to work on that choke, and now it's deep. That is as deep as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. And Brent Harvie is deadly close. Is absolutely deadly close to going home at 5. But he survives. Clay Dixon now maintaining control from the rear. He may have lost the choke. He switched to a nice body lock. And Brent Harvie definitely needs to get his back on the mat. Control the hands of Dixon. Brent Harvie able to turn in for a second. And almost out-position Clay Dixon. Dixon now comfortable in the guard of Brent Harvie and absolutely pummeling his abdomen. Hard right hands, left hands. Wild shots at the big kick of Brent Harvie. And now a high right kick. Or rather a high left kick. And again closes the distance. And immediately hands tied behind the back, underneath the hips of Brent Harvie. Working diligently for the takedown back in the guard and now landing overhand rights on Brent Harvie. He looks to be bringing Clay Dixon a little bit. Breaking down the posture of Clay Dixon using his legs. Successful and continue to thwart the attempts of Brent Harvie to stand back to his feet. It's going to be interesting to see if Dixon has any intention of mixing it back up, keeping the fight on the feet, engaging in the clinch, or if this is strictly a ground battle as far as he's concerned. Again, lands that overhand right. And finds a way to take Brent Harvie down. Not finds a way, he takes Brent Harvie down. Takes Brent Harvie down, but now looks to be tied up in a little bit of a guillotine here. Harvie working a nice left butterfly hook on the inside. And these guys are really exploring the positional hierarchy. Moving from the mat back to like a single leg position. Again to the mat, back to that butterfly, this time on the right hand side. And then a guillotine attempt. Clay Dixon working a bit of a body cradle there for a second, using it to pass half guard there and find himself a position to ride. Dixon looking to make himself very heavy right now. Although he is very, very high up on Brent Harvie, it looks like he is using his own weight well. Harvie now attempting to cage walk, but I don't believe that that's going to be enough leverage to get Clay Dixon on his back. Clay Dixon is looking like he is exactly where he wants to be. Dixon is more or less having his way with Brent Harvie here on the ground. Although Brent Harvie isn't really making it easy, he failed to keep the momentum of any of those scrambles going up or down off the mat, or down to the mat rather. The momentum is absolutely critical, especially when defending off takedowns. Clay Dixon here, he's got his left foot. You got Brent Harvie's left foot wedged underneath him there for a second, and he was holding it. He was stopping him from making any bridge attempts. That's very crafty. That's keeps it very much in a wrestling game. You know, something as simple as that can outman just about anybody. You know, it's hard to find an answer for that kind of thing under pressure, especially when you haven't trained it. You haven't trained with a wrestler that obviously the level Clay Dixon is on. Clay Dixon absolutely letting loose with just a barrage of elbows to the ribs, the lower floating ribs of Brent Harvie, and really picking his spots wisely, not letting too much space, never getting Brent Harvie more than an inch to which to work with. You know, keeping that forward pressure driving through the half guard, and now Brent Harvie's neck and shoulder line kind of riding up on the cage. Just even more of a positional advantage for Clay Dixon, who now slips into an arm bar. 10 seconds left in the round. Can face down, and Brent Harvie's looking to step over to defend, and he does. Out of danger with virtually no time left in the second round. Clay Dixon in between rounds 2 and 3, looking very much like the Clay Dixon in between rounds 1 and 2. Calm, collected, poised, confident where he's at, what his game plan is, and where it's taken him so far. You know, the man with all the work on his shoulders right now is Brent Harvie. Brent Harvie is unquestionably down 2 rounds to 0, and he's got to come from behind here in dramatic fashion to steal the victory. Both fighters touched gloves at the beginning of round 3 here, the third and final round. And again with an overhand right, Clay Dixon finds his way in, but this time Brent Harvie was working on a little bit of a sprawl. But now again into a familiar position with Clay Dixon. Easily passing his guard, and Brent Harvie looking for a guillotine. And while he had to know that the wrestling stylist would be available to guillotines, he's going to have to work a little bit harder to break down Clay Dixon at this point and really get that in snug. Referee Andy Social taking 1 point for Brent Harvie for what I am not sure And again with the overhand right into that duck walk trip, that wrestling trip. And again, bearing down all this weight into his shoulders, Clay Dixon. Clay Dixon now might be in a little bit of a dangerous spot here with Brent Harvie. He had a nice angle on that guillotine. And but a fleeting moment. Clay Dixon now is absolutely dominating Brent Harvie from the guard and is really turning up the bad intentions here in the last minute of round 3. Saving it all for when it matters the most and really dropping some heavy right hands, hammer fist to the abdomen. And really doing his best to leave it all here in the third and final round. And what an absolutely stellar strategy for Clay Dixon, getting ahead on the scorecard, securing the rounds, and now really touching his opponent up when the opportunity is at its best. And what Brent Harvie should be doing here right now is looking to break down the posture of Clay Dixon. And now he's got Clay Dixon in a deep armbar here, returning the favor from Dixon's armbar attempt in round 2. Dixon is very deep. His elbow is over the hips. And now he's sinking even deeper into Brent Harvie's armbar attempt. He is. But Clay Dixon stays true and muscles out. Putting a little bit of pressure, a little bit of body weight on the hamstrings, the back of the legs of Brent Harvie. Staying calm under pressure and managing to slip his arm out of what was a terrible spot. Referee Andy Social restarting the pair, where the action was discontinued opposite the cage from Brent Harvie's corner against the fence, and with Clay Dixon in the guard of Harvie, easily in control. Now Harvie looks to be working for a bit of a triangle. Clay Dixon shrugs it off and manages to find himself back in the side control position. And Clay Dixon easily passes the mount there, breezing over the torso of Brent Harvie, cutting across with a nice knee, keeping his technique disciplined, even though obviously the fight is well in hand. And now with 10 seconds left in the round, Clay Dixon solidifies what was a unanimous decision victory with some powerful strikes from the mount. Clay Dixon staying humble in victory, walking across the cage to commend his opponent on a fantastic effort here tonight. Clay Dixon improves to 3-0, 2-0 under the Havoc Fighting Championships banner, and poised to be a featherweight threat. There was so many great featherweights among the ranks, and
ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Cheadle scored the fight 30-25. Judge Harb scored the fight 30-24. Judge Pohl scores the fight 30-25 for your winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, Clay Dixon.